Monisha, you can start now.
Good evening to one and all present here in the IEEE webinar series COVID-19 Mind's Eye. I am your Monisha Priya, IEEE Student Vice Secretary of EM Society from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. On behalf of St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, I am here to volunteer for today's session. Now, I would like to extend my first and foremost gratitude to our Honorable Chairman Sir, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan, our Managing Director, Mrs. B. Jessie Priya Ma'am, and our Director Sir, Mr. Sashi Shekhar, and our beloved Principal, Dr. B. Ravichandran Sir, for giving this opportunity to conduct the webinar. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our Head of Department, Dr. C. Nanak Kausalya Ma'am, Staff and Student Affairs, and Dr. G. Rose Ma'am, Lab Affairs, for their ceaseless support. Now, I will be sharing a few words about our speaker. Dr. Jyoti Clara J. Michael, MSc, was the Director of Nursing Strategies and Planning, Indian Operations Division, Parkway Healthcare India Private Limited, in Gleneagles Global Group and Continental Hospitals, and also is the Vice President Association of Nurse Executives India and Tamil Nadu State Official Member, CAHO, AHPI, INS, and member of Technical Committee of NABH. She was an alumni of CMCH Vellore with professional journey over the past 32 years, reaching pinnacle positions in both academia and critical clinical arena in nursing, challenging various capacities and leadership in India and abroad. Her interests and research accomplishments are women's health, pain management, alternative complementary, quality of care, online course designing, EBP and training, accreditation and nursing profession and ethics. Her awards and honors: International Travel Award from Midwest Nursing Research Society 2008 USA, Deanship Training University of Wisconsin USA 2008, and the ETA Research Award for the annual ETA Chapter Research Day held on 2005 at Oshkosh, and also a leading corona nursing care across IOD and many others. She also has some publications and research work such as PhD Guide, Co-Guide, and Advisory members, has publications and international presentations, board member for British Journal of Nursing UK and India, advisory board member of JCNE CMCH, and also co-authored Real World Health Care Diagnostics Point of Care Urinary Tract Infection in High Impact Factor Journal Nature BME. So before we start the session, I would like to say few instructions to be followed by the participants. Kindly post your questions in the chat box. There would be a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. The attendance link will be posted at the end of the today's webinar. So now I invite our speaker of the day to kindly start the session. Ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pleasant evening wishes to one and all gathered here. It's a very happy evening this evening because it's delighting me to be with young minds. Being with young minds is always energetic, and thank you all for giving me an opportunity to be here with you. May I thank Gleneagles Global Hospitals for having given me this opportunity to be here with you. I especially thank Mr. Bhaskar Reddy for spearheading this program along with his team. And I'm very delighted that you young organizers have come forward to put this program, a 3 days program. And today we are going to have a session on defining your happiness during crisis. This gives me a delight for the reason that we are going to now unfold our thoughts, understand further what is happiness all about. If you follow the quote that I hear, the first and foremost, happiness is yours to define. You and only you alone can define happiness. But you have to be very careful that you don't let anyone else define your happiness. The only keeper of your happiness must be you. Stop giving people power to control your smile, your worth, and your attitude, which is very, very significant. If happiness is a state of appreciation for what we have, and why should all of us feel unhappy sometimes? We do feel unhappy sometimes. Most of the time, if a question is asked to you, are you happy? We think back immediately, not responding yes. So happiness is a state of appreciation for what we have. And even if it is a simple one, like a rising sun, or the air that we breathe, the water that is pure to drink, reflects a sense of appreciation and gives us a happiness. Having said that, I just wanted to ask you a question. Why we Indians are not happy? This is not what I have told, but India not so happy. Fourth World Happiness Report says. Subsequent reports would also be similar to this. And more so ever at times of COVID. You could see here very clearly, 118 is a magical number for us, saying that we are in this level of not being happy. While Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland, and Finland, and Norway, they rank so high. So what is making the difference? Is it the money? Is it the sophistication? Is it the education? What is that is giving happiness to an individual? This is where we have to explore. You young minds, you young souls are going to determine how India is going to be in the future. So if you are very clear and you also help your elders in the family and your counterparts to be helping them to define happiness, that is certainly going to make a difference in India. So having said this, we could see that no medicine cures what happiness cannot. Right from womb to tomb, we could say that happiness is a medicine. When I was doing my research with unborn, even a simple heart rate makes a difference when mom is happy, when mom listens to songs, when she is pleasant, when father and mom, they are dialoguing something that is very sweet, the baby understands through vibration. So that starts there and then it continues. When the baby is born, the first and the foremost developmental task that the baby learns is to develop trust. If at all, 100%, all babies born in this world is given a chance to develop trust, the entire world or the universe will be different. Today, we see juvenile delinquents, unhappy children going into various habits. They seek comfort in various other mechanisms and methods, which is actually destroying their health. It may give happiness, but they are not very constant one. It is just defining for that particular time. Birth and death, the period between these two undergoes various paths, various stages. Now, when you see this, we can see in this picture, a mom smiling, a father interacting with a child, friends laughing together. See this little one who was able to innovate a cooling glass, right? So beautiful. And you see the sibling feeding other, how the elder one is taking care of children. Do you think this is what is happiness? So can we say richness will give happiness? One who's happy has everything, whether they are poor or rich. But one who's sad, has nothing, though rich. This is a very powerful statement. I think we have to understand this statement very clearly. Do richness define happiness? If you have everything, will you be happy? Let us think through, children. It is time for us to reflect what gives us happiness and what is that we want to become one day, and what is that we want to contribute and make yourself happy. Stay with me to understand how to define your happiness. First, we obviously should address the elephant in the room. Who's the elephant in the room? Let us see who's the elephant in the room. So when we want to see who's the elephant in the room, we have to understand that happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So we are going to reflect, we are going to understand, and very powerfully I'm going to pin you to the thoughts, because the thoughts are very, very important, which determines who you and me are. Where attention goes, energy flows. You're either limited or liberated by your thoughts. The fine lines between is called stress. For example, you understand, if I put it in your terms, you're standing in one corner. You see your car parked far apart. Probably you have to take 100 steps to the car. Now, you standing here is the present. Where would you like to go? You would like to go near the car. Now, what is in between you being here and the car? It is a space. Now, how are you going to fill the space? You can run to take your car. You can walk gently to take your car. It is defined by time. So when space and the time is not dealt appropriately, we end up sacrificing our happiness. Stress is induced. So this distance, nothing is like you can just cross across and go. Every single act of us makes a difference. It is all within your system, and there is a science backing up this. If you see in science, I'm sure you're all very clever children. You would have learned in your science subject that Maslow's hierarchy theory of happiness. So what it says each part of the brain is directly proportionate to aspects of happiness. And the basic to actualization. Sometimes this is also proved to be wrong in the sense, if your self-actualization or self-esteem is very high, you would sacrifice your food. Before exams, you would not mind sacrificing your lunch, your dinner, or probably your breakfast. So all these happens because you have gone to a level of happiness, and that is helping you to propel forward, although the basic needs are not met. So this understanding is very important, and you should understand that your brain has a part to play. There is a hardwire to free will, and that is parallel, and we have to understand the psychological model. And when we need to do things, what is a priority, what is not the priority, what is a need. So sometimes it is important for us to go in depth and understand. Coming to COVID, this is a hospital. You see all our nurses being happy, doctors being happy, patients are happy. This picture is taken from each of the time when the patients are leaving. Those who are in color dresses, not in COVID suits, are our patients. Sometimes they come as a single patient. Sometimes they come as family. We have got families to a level of like 5 to 6 members in the family getting admitted for treatment, and they all get discharged happily. There were patients who have been ventilated, gone into ECMO machine, gone into higher end technology, and then got discharged. At the time of discharge, a great sense of gratification and happiness comes to health professionals. The doctors and nurses, we do celebrate. Why? Because we were able to help them out. And the patients are able to cope and they are able to go home. So this is a kind of happiness. So this is a kind of happiness where we are able to have a goal and a desire and we are able to achieve it. Here is our senior leadership team in the left on the top. These are our nurses. And you could see two pictures down, like we saw, like one is from the police academy. There were few people who got admitted, they got discharged, they were fascinated and delighted with the care. So they took the nurses to their centers, they gave them a royal march and they honored them. This will not come out if they were not happy with the care. You see the other side, like we had people coming in from National Security Board and they were very happy. So they said, one of the fantastic care that we have received. So all these gives us happiness to propel forward, to place us even more empathetical, even more gentler, even more scientific, and even more involved so that the future patients are treated in a better way. This is another type of happiness. You could see me on top there. You could see me there down. This is, I'm connecting with 2-3 hospitals of us. We have 7 hospitals across. So we have a hospital in Mumbai at Parel. We have hospital in Hyderabad. We have in Bangalore. In Hyderabad, we have 3 hospitals, Continental and 2 Global. We have in Hyderabad 3 hospitals, and then in Bangalore and in Chennai. So what do we do is, like, whenever the nurses fall ill, these are the nurses in quarantine. You see them in colors on top left. And beneath that, I just connected with the COVID nurses. Can you see the nurses with bright eyes there? All the male nurses, because it was a male hostel. They were staying because quarantine, they were all quarantined into an area. And you could see the smile in them, right? So how can somebody being quarantined is giving the smile? There's a question for us to understand. And here on the other side, you see, like you see the nurse educator, the deputy nursing superintendent, all of us. And Mrs. Rajala is a chief nursing officer at Chennai. So she hosted a birthday cake cutting for the staff. So the staff cut the cake. He was a COVID positive patient. So what we did was we sent cake inside to his room. And there were a few other nurses who were COVID positive. They all joined together, the other staff and few doctors, they all joined together inside and they cut the cake. We sang for the person. This is a sense of happiness. And this is all about like creating a circle of happiness. So this is all external, like from outside, we give something and somebody makes it happy. This effort is equally important. Now, I'm going to go into a very deeper subject for you, which I myself learned it through the process. Address elephant in the room. The life during quarantine. What are the 3 major problems that we faced during this particular quarantine time? Stay with me to understand how to define your happiness. First, we obviously should address the elephant in the room. I hope you know what I am talking about. If you are able to understand what I'm talking about, which is there already in the slide, please type C19. Just put the C and 19 in your chat box. Let me see how many of you are typing C19. So just type C19 in your chat box if you are able to understand this particular slide. It is all about life quarantine. First and foremost barrier or limitation for most of us is being lonely. You all will agree to me. In the time of quarantine, We all were feeling lonely. For some, thinking that he or she is out of control. And for rest, facing their insecurities. If you had watched TV, read magazine, interested with interaction with your elders, family members, and outsiders, you would agree that all these are true. And this has taken us for a tour. Drawing out a solution is the fundamental right thing to do now. Keeping in mind that only you can help yourself to define happiness. Simplest solutions are there for happiness. And this is what we are going to see now. So what are some of the simplest solutions? So I'm going to start with a very beautiful quote by Buddha. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. I had very clearly told you, thought is the one single terminology that we are going to focus all through today's discussion. I will let you in on a little story of a good wolf and a bad wolf. Each one of us have wolves inside. And each of the wolves needs something to nourish, eat. If we feed the wolves with bad thoughts, it is designed to become a bad wolf. If we feed them with the good thoughts, they become good wolves. And so, which one of the two chose to feel the most will have the higher probability of winning. If you keep on feeding your negative thoughts to the wolf that is within you, you will have the higher probability of helping the bad wolf winning over good wolf. What is the result? Stress, dejection, unhappiness. You cannot be alone. If you close your eyes and sit and ask, am I happy? You will not be able to be happy. That peace doesn't set in us. This is very important point that we have to understand. And when we talk about the good wolves and the bad wolves, who do we feed matters a lot. So who is holding the key? You and me hold the key. And we are responsible for us not to be happy. Gandhiji has clearly told, always aim at complete harmony of thought and words and deed. What we say, what we do, and what we think should be synchronized. If we don't have a good thought, outcome is not always good. It will never coincide. Maybe we can pretend, we can act we are happy. We can act we are good. We can act to our friends that we are very helpful, but we will not. We will act we are respecting our faculty. Teachers will act that they are respecting students, but it will not go a long way. It will come out at some point of time. So always aim at purifying your thoughts and everything will be well. Every day we urinate, we pass stools, we eliminate sweat, but do we eliminate thoughts? Do we eliminate thoughts? It is important. Dear participants, dear children, it is important for us to eliminate unpure thoughts day after day, minute after minute, so that we get cleansed, which is very, very important for us. Now, I just wanted to tell you that I'm not going to talk to you what I know from my mind, but also I have done some homework. Now that I have asked you to feed your wolves good thoughts, It would be not right on my part if I don't show it to you. Now, how can I show you? I cannot just show you like that because I'm not a great example. I do get frustration. I sometimes forget to clear my negative thoughts. That's humanly right. It happens for everyone. But we have to take a conscious decision. So what I have done is, I have identified few important quotes which will give us positivity, and we will brainstorm on those quotes which will help us to propel forward. These quotes, which are as small as droplets, holding relatability and meaning as vast as ocean. Very strong statement. Thoughts, very important. They are like small droplets, but it holds relatability and meaning to create a strong ocean in us. So it is a practice that we put in us so that we develop happiness. Now in lockdown, what happened? In lockdown, many times we see media's negative feedback. We see friends talking something not good. Everywhere we negativity is prevailing. But you know, those who could see happiness, those who could see peace in them, still saw positivity. I would supplement with a real story to you. There was a father, mother, and a daughter who came for treatment. The father, mother, and daughter got well, but the father became very sick. We tried all best mechanism for the father. Step after step. Already when the father came in, it was very late. The lung was damaged closer to 80%. So we couldn't do, we did all, but we could not help him open up his lung. Despite all best high technological care. Father was there for 2 weeks or so. The father was put on ECMO. First he was intubated, then he was put on ECMO machine. ECMO machine is similar to that of a artificial lung that supports the heart and the lung functioning. It cleans up. It's like a dialysis we use for kidney, the dialysis machine, similar to that for the organs. So when the patient was put on that, he turned out to become conscious. His kidneys showed better improvement. All other organs showed better improvement. Only organ that did not open up was the lung. That is because the COVID took all over his lung. And he was brought very late, but still we tried, could not do it. There is only 1 day left for him because the family decided, even if we are going to take care of my father or my husband, next 1 more week, there'll be only added bill, but it is not going to cause any improvement in him. So it was a very tough decision. How to bring happiness within the family at that point of time. The father was conscious. He was on ECMO machine. He was having all tubes all over him. You know, hats off to the doctors and the nurses, the care that they gave. You know, when I sat with the family along with Dr. Subra, we were able to take the family through end of life care. We just spoke to the girl, the family, the husband, the wife. And only thing what we told her was, 1 day with your father is going to be a precious day for you lifelong. They took it. You would not believe the day when right from morning till evening, the family interacted within ICU. Father interacting with the daughter talking to him. She was giving him coffee. She was giving him some drinks to whatever he likes. They were doing some rituals. Father knew hidden that he is not going to live long. The daughter and the mother knows that he is not going to live tomorrow also. But they made that one day a quality day for them. It is very painful. It's very painful. I would say that in darkness, they saw light. I will just narrate with you few dialogues that they had. She asked her father, you didn't, wife was asking the father or husband, you didn't teach me driving scooter. Then he said, daughter will drive, help you drive. She'll teach you. What a fantastic coordination. How he understood. The family did not put in one drop of tears because they didn't want him to feel insecure in the last day. They wanted him to feel complete, closure, beautiful concept. So when he was put to sleep in the night, it was very painful. When we were counseling the family, even we had tears in our eyes. That is the pain that we had, but the family coped up. They were able to be positive, see positivity in lockdown. They saw positivity in deathbed. Amazing. So how many of us have seen positivity in lockdown? Many people have seen it. Serves as a break for many of us. Yes, we had a break from routine. People were eating more fresh foods, home cooked foods. Swiggies were not there. Family relationships were getting closer. Many Indian men, boys, learned to cook and clean for the first time. Pollutions will drop, and it did. Students will begin to learn Indians' remote work culture. It is happening. Otherwise, we wouldn't have hosted. I would have been in your college to deliver this talk, seeing you all face to face. Self-discovery of hidden talents. Surprisingly, oh, you knew drawing? First time we are coming to know. You know this talent? Oh, first time we are coming to know. You have explored a lot of talents. So all these positivity had come, and we have learned to adjust and accommodate as well. So these were some of the greatest things that we saw as a positivity. If I ask you a question, the best curve in the whole body, what would you say? It is a smile. There is no ugly smile at all. Every smile is beautiful. Whether you are fair, whether you are not fair, whether you are young, old, your face is shrunken, smile. The curve is the beautiful curve, which is the best curve in the whole body. I don't know how many of you realized. If only I am in front of you, I would have asked all of you to smile. So I believe that all of you are smiling. Please wear your smile. Put up your smile. It's important. Smiling is very, very important. O.G. Mandrio. He has written these 3 lines. You think how easy it would have been for him to write these 3 lines? It is his life experience shrunk into these 3 lines. A smile remains the most inexpensive gift I or you can bestow on another. And it's powerful. And its power can vanquish kingdoms. Very beautiful. If a teacher is upset with you, go in front of the teacher and give a nice smile. Not the naughty smile, but give a nice smile. Things will change. There is a stubborn student. Teacher can smile. Smile changes people. It can vanquish kingdoms. Andy Roney states that we are forced to take avatars at different time in different situation. Finally, we forget what we really smile to? What are we smiling for? What are we smiling to? We forget for what we should smile, for what we should not smile. If you're alone at home, how many of you sing to yourself, smile to yourself when nobody is around you? And you mean it really? It is very important because you are more important when somebody sees you, when somebody is not seeing you. You have to be contented and complete. So when you're able to smile, when no one is around you, you show a state of completeness. That is happiness. Happiness and smile complements and feed each other. And please, we should not forget to smile. Sometimes when your cheek muscles gets very rigid, it's difficult to smile. Many neurological patients comes to a hospital. Even if they want to smile, they cannot smile because your muscles will not support. We have got very good muscles, which is helping us to smile, and that smile generates lot of enzymes, hormones within a system that is keeping us more healthy. So it is important that we have to smile. So connect smile with your happiness, which will help you to be better. We all put cosmetics, right? I have put some makeup, right? Lipsticks, and then you put kajal, you put boys, they do put some cream and do all that. Neat dress, we dress up nicely. All these cosmetic beauty is very important, but there is nothing like happiness. Happiness have to be owned. Do we have, or where our happiness before we go out, before we sleep, before we have our food? Are you able to see yourself in the mirror that I am wearing happiness? I am not wearing happiness. Because others cannot see, only you and your sense can understand whether we are having or wearing happiness with us. So more than any cosmetics for beauty, happiness is very, very important. Now, we are going into the next deeper subject, and that is about desire. How a desire can drive you. How a desire can drive you. Do you all have desire? Yes. Some of you want to become engineers. Some of you want to become different professionals. You must be having a lot of aims in your future. I have to buy this. I have to buy that. I have to be like that auntie. I have to be like my father. I have to be like this role model. I want to achieve this. So a lot of desires are there. But I will teach you a trick now. How to make your desires to linked to happiness. Desire and happiness, they are directly proportionate to each other. If your dreams were the person, if you think there is a dream, okay, there is a dream with you, you have dreamt. Now all of you will have dream in your mind. Go back and think what is a dream you have in your mind. Now see the dream as a person. And this person is going to live with you day in and day out. You will have to constantly be in touch with this person. That is your dream. Appreciate and feed it. And also put them to sleep when you're sleeping and wake them up when you're awake in the morning. That is during the sleep in the night. And you have to wake them up in the right time. The right time would be early morning when you get up. So what happens is, your dream doesn't remain as a dream outside you. Your dream remains as a person within you. Just a person within you. And now that we have addressed that we have to be in touch with our dreams, the only way or the only form of reaching out to it is the right way, where you use your thoughts. So the thoughts help you to understand that your dream is a person and become personally involved with your dream and makes it a priority. And it will never become a reality. Your thoughts helps define happiness. Now, when you say your thought is helping you defining happiness, what do you understand here? What do you understand here? So what is that you are able to understand here? Can you read these two thoughts? So these two thoughts help you to nurture, help you to believe. The thoughts and the belief helps you to propel forward. Take such coatings, stick it on to your room, wall or cupboard. Keep seeing it every day. Just read, don't read it as you want to read it, but you reflect those wordings, converting them into what is reality in your life. Then you will be able to understand it better. When you are able to follow freely everything within each words between lines, you will be able to relate your experience. And that is how people have written quotes. It just simply, they don't take a paper, write a quote. It is all life experience for them. We are coming to closer to end. The Bob Proctor. People who are interested in doing something will do it when it's convenient. People who are committed will do it no matter what. Now that the thoughts are part and parcel of us, and we have covered a bit about thoughts. So now you know that thought is very important. Your dreams have to become personalized. Thought helps you to make your dream personalized, and you're seeing an outcome that is happiness. One of the most important factor is giving it enough kinetic energy. In other words, hard work. Some people have dreams. Dreams will become dreams only tomorrow, day after tomorrow. It will never be converted into goals and action, as Abdul Kalam has said very clearly. If you don't convert your dreams to goals and to action, we will never reach the outcome. So hard work, smart work is very, very important. So Bob Proctor says, people do have to have commitment if you want to achieve something in life. Have you heard of the word FOMO? Dear participants, FOMO, an important aspect of subject of happiness. What is FOMO? Just to make you understand what is FOMO, I'll just quickly run through this, okay? The FOMO, when you say, is a very, very simple one. While the process do not get carried away by how well others are doing with their dreams and desires. If you do so, you are into it. Do not see others. Maybe for learning, yes. But if we want to have a dream, if you and me want to have a dream, our dream should have the priority. You should not look into their dreams are getting fulfilled, they are all getting richer, they are all getting smarter, they are all getting popular. That will only give you FOMO. What is FOMO? The fear of missing out. Thinking that the grass is greener elsewhere and living a life out of balance are all symptoms of having incorrectly, appropriately, without any priority, you're out of happiness yourself. So we are out of happiness because we are into FOMO. Stress comes, difficulty comes, people go into depression, it even leads to suicide. So please stop when you get an urge to get the FOMO. It is easy. You can avoid it. And it can be avoided by using the thoughts. How do you bridge and come out of FOMO? The best way is gratitude. Have you seen the first slide? First slide, when we started off with gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It's the spark that lights a fire of joy in your soul. Gratitude will shift you to a higher frequency and you will attract much better things. There is a calmness to life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. So gratitude is one of the beautiful things that we have to learn so that we are able to be out of FOMO. Count your blessings is one great thing. In Christianity, in Hinduism, in religion, it says very clearly, counting blessing is very, very important. Small and big blessings that every day we get into. Once you completely get your brain to comprehend this idea, you will feel a sense of satisfaction and a fulfillment, which I would like to call 1/10th of gratitude. And it becomes a practice. It is now part of you every day. So you rank yourself between 1 to 10. If it is only 1/10, you start. Try to do 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. And then as your gratitude increases, you will be able to come out of FOMO. And that will be the greatest thing and achievement that you have achieved in your life. Even if nobody is around you, you're all alone, you will be having a great sense of happiness. And that happiness is the one that will make you complete, and that will be the permanent joy that you have within you. Nothing can shake. Nothing can shake. Failure can never shake. So what you fail in your subject this year, you can always make it next year. School dropouts have become great people in life. I've seen that, like some of my family, young children speak that. Yes. So there is no failure because we are not clear with what is the definition of failure. This is one last aspect that I would like to share with you is the real gift of gratitude is that the more grateful you are, the more present you become. I have learned it at the age of 50, and now still I am learning how to live in present. Many times what do is we think of the past or we think of the future. We never set and pin our thoughts to present. I'm learning it. When I try it, I get a deep sense of happiness. And this happiness, I feel, is important for all of you who are attending here. It is happiness means you thought, okay, it will be a fun class, fun session and all that. But if I could have made this session a fun session for you, but I love you all. I'm burdened that all of you must learn if you have not experienced what is the real happiness. So that is the reason I took all the effort, understanding myself, how I can tailor make the presentations to you, even though it is little heavy, and then make you understand that thought is very important aspects and what are the things that are around it. My conclusion would be, I personally believe live, love, laugh, lead, and lead. That is life. Everyone would like to live. We all would like to get loved. We all like laughing. Few of us would like to lead, but none of us would like to lead. But all of us must understand there is a beginning and an end. Every end should be successful. Doesn't matter how many days we live. Leaving is very, very important. It's a maturity process. So the last day of your deathbed, in my deathbed, if I reflect back, how happy I lived in this world, 0 to 10. If I am able to mark 9 and 10, that is the greatest thing that I could do in my life. That is what I am trying to learn, continuously explore, so that every day I live for the present and be happy within me. And at this point of time, I would like to quote a Chinese proverb: one joy scatters 100 griefs. How many of you get up in the morning, see your parents, your relatives around, your friends, your dogs, your plants, and give a good smile, a good laughter, which is very, very important? How many of you seeing yourself in the mirror and laugh, smile? Please do it from tomorrow. No, do it from today. See into the mirror and smile. That will reflect back to you happiness, because you're all very precious in the eyes of God. You're all very precious in the eyes of your relatives. You're all very precious in the eyes of community. You're the future generation. So happiness is very, very important ingredient to nourish you, to make you and your life lively and gratifying. This is my summary slide. 6 things to always remember. Please take away these 6 things. Take a pic of it, stick it wherever you can. Keep it in your mobile, keep it anywhere that it is possible, so that your eye catches them every day. Everything takes time. Don't get tensed. Other people are not the answer to your happiness. Grow and never stop working on yourself. Change is inevitable. Your mistakes does not define you. Your mistakes does not define you. You are a beautiful, powerful being capable of so much. Just to conclude, I would say that I'm very happy for having met you all. I feel it is a blessing, and thank you for helping me redefine my happiness. Thank you for making me feel young, connected with you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to remember St. Joseph community and your family.
Salute the courage and energy of coronavirus warriors. Feels like God has taken avatar in the form of corona warriors. Thank you, ma'am, for your fruitful words, and glad to be a part of this session. So now let's move on to the question and answer session. The first question is, as a faculty, how to approach a student if his or her family member is affected by corona?
So what is the first question?
As a faculty, how to approach a student if his or her family member is affected by corona?
Okay. So when the student comes to inform the faculty that the family is had diagnosed to have corona, first thing the faculty should understand that few important scientific aspects. One is early stage of corona certainly have to be revealed, and the checkup is very, very important. They have to be in the hands of medical fraternity, because what we see nowadays is whenever patients come to hospital, not in the early stage, but in the later stage after the lung has got damaged, the patients take longer time to heal. sometimes it's very difficult for them to also come out of the complication. So teachers have to first thing insist is they have to advise them to give them courage to go to hospital and take a proper medical test. And they have to guide them. Suppose some of the students may be economically strong, some students may be economically not strong. So teachers know better. So they can advise them either to go to different type of hospitals. Probably they can take some help, like they can talk to us and we can also guide them where they can go. There is something like cashless treatment, there is some cash treatment. So they can go according to the places where they can have this treatment. Then the most important thing is if a teacher can connect with the students face to face or by video call, because it is important. Normally, what do we do when somebody is in problem? We have to connect with them. So they can listen to them, talk to them, what is their problem. And if suppose they say they are very upset, they are scared, whether the fear is because of knowledge or fear is because of something else, probably we can help them out on this. So teachers should become beyond a teacher role. They should become a comforter. They should become a counselor. So in order to become a counselor, teachers should also have some amount of knowledge, little bit of knowledge to support them. They also extend beyond to become a supporter. What is this supporter? Probably they can call somebody to go reach out to them and support them. And other thing what you can do is, as a teacher, if you can postpone their submission of assignment, or if you could postpone their sessions, classes, some modification in the attendance can be given so that the students will be not at stress, but they will be comfortable. So these are some of the things teachers could do for the student.
Okay, ma'am. So, how will you interact with COVID-19 patients who are in depression?
COVID-19 patients, those who are in depression. We have seen many patients in depression. The problem mainly is when they are in hospital or when they are outside the hospital also, they are stuck within four walls. So what we have to do is, first thing is prevention of depression is very, very important. So how do we prevent it is, we can engage them. How do we engage them? You have to give them positive strokes, willpower, and we can engage them through other means. What are their hobbies? They can still continue hobbies. It's not that, see, if they like plants, then they can keep the plants in the balcony and in the quarantine room adjacent. They can still go and water their plants in that room. They need not come out, but the plants can go inside the balcony. They can water them. If they have a hobby of knitting, if they have a hobby of doing something, they can do it. Whatever they feel like doing within the four walls, they can write some poem, they can invent some talent in them, and they can try out those talents, and then they can connect with people. See, now the internet and medias are there, so they can connect with people. They can play. See, nowadays games are very common. You need not see face to face, sit opposite. And then meditation, very, very important. You have talked about happiness. So meditation, there are best ways of meditation: breathing in, breathing out. When they breathe in with count of 4, breathe out with count of 8, and then retain the breath for 4 counts within the lungs, that itself is the best thing. So when they do this systematically, what will happen is they are occupied, they are engaged. The mind is not ideal. They can write poems, they can write stories, they can write letter to friends, they can write letter to loved ones. All these are a method of engaging them, which will prevent them from depression. Okay, now in hospitals, what do? We give them laptop or we give them other gadgets so they are able to watch not the news. News always gives negative opinion. Something that is pleasant, something that is good. We make nurses and doctors interact with them frequently. We make the environment very lively. We have some nice posters in the corona area. If they are babies, we can see like corona baby wards and all, with full of all these small things that the children will like, the toys, the bunnies and other things they can just put there, and then the children will balloons, all that can be there inside their room. So it can be normal for them. So they'll be comfortable. It reminds me of one situation. Like there were few patients who went into depression. My nurses, when we connect them through video call into the COVID area, I remember them telling like, ma'am, I didn't want to move out of this place because he is found to be little depressed. So I sat with that person. I was reading Bible. I was singing song. I was reading the Bhagavad Gita, and I was making them listen to some mantras. So depending on the needs, we give them whatever is required. So even if they go into sort of little depression, we come. Another best thing that we have done is the patients, those who are with corona in the earlier days, we made them stay 20 days, 21 days inside the ICU, in the COVID ICU, where it is all like fully everybody in full jackets, no, that COVID jackets. But what happened later is, as science has revealed, in 14th day the patients can be out. So what we did was, around 14th day, or maybe around the 12th to 14th day, we bring the patient to the general ICUs. So in general ICUs, they see doctor's face, they see nurses face, they see relatives coming in. And as I told you, like, we engage with relatives, so we permit one or two relatives to come and talk to them, spend enough time with them, in even in ICUs or in wards. So what happens is, they get out of depression. So depression is only temporary, because they are very depressed. If they are having that confidence, they'll come out. And if they know that people still respect me, people still love me, then that helps them come out of depression.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, how do you create happiness?
How do you create happiness? That is what we were seeing, no? Create happiness cannot be created. See, I cannot create your happiness. I can be a source of your happiness circle. I can bring everything to you around you, but who takes it in is you. I create happiness for myself. It's very difficult to learn that. It is a process. So we have to learn that process. That is what we have seen in the presentation, right? So you have to have a thought control. You should be able to, first of all, try to be comfortable and happy when you're alone. Learn that. Without any TV, without any music, without any friends, without any loved ones, just you and you alone. How is you and the time connected? How is you and the space connected? If we learn this, then we will certainly create a happiness within us, even in a big crowd. Your happiness will remain your happiness. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. So that's the end of the question and answer session. Thank you, ma'am, for answering all the questions. Now it's the time to express my gratitude to all. On behalf of ECE Department, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, first and foremost, I thank our guest speaker, Dr. Jyoti Clara J. Michael, Director of Nursing, Strategies and Planning, Indian Operation Division, Parkway Healthcare India Private Limited. Thank you, ma'am, for finding time and giving us more information on how to be happy on this pandemic situation despite your busy schedule. My heartfelt thanks to our beloved Chairman, Sir, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan, for his consistent upkeep in conduction of this webinar. My sincere thanks to our Managing Director, ma'am, Mrs. B. Jessie Priya, and our Director, Sir, Mr. B. Sashi Shekhar, for their guidance in conduction of this webinar. I would also like to express my gratitude to our Principal Sir, Dr. P. Ravichandran, for his support to conduct this webinar. I also thank our head of the department and IEEE chapter advisor, Dr. C. Gnana Kausalya ma'am, staff and student affairs, and Dr. G. Rohini ma'am, IEEE coordinator, head of lab affairs, for their words of encouragement and guidance. Also, I take this opportunity to thank the entire fraternity of St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, St. Joseph's Groups of Institution for making this event memorable success. Finally, I thank all the students, faculties, research scholars from all over the India and the countries for their active participation in this webinar. Last but not the least, a very special thanks to Bhaskar Reddy, Vice President Corporate Relations. Thank you all.